Welcome to today's Executive Intelligence Briefing. I'm Robert T. Stacy, the President CEO of AARM, and it's my pleasure to welcome you today. Today's topic being ultra precision marketing sciences and the art of the possible. Across all industries and company sizes, CEOs, COOs, CFOs, CMOs, CIOs, and senior execs would likely agree that the top priority for most organizations is growing corporate profits and revenues. Not going to get much argument about that. And it's true for all business models, whether it's B2B, B2C, not for profit, and so on. There are other challenges. Revenue growth not being the only one. Marketers are also trying to do more with less, under pressure to identify and invest in the most valuable or profitable customers, while at the same time trying to balance budgets and resources. So how do you grow? Well, enterprises need to invest more in utilizing the art of the possible from where we sit, addressing such issues as corporate survival, corporate longevity, and corporate prosperity. Knowledge is power. We know that knowledge is power. The power to create predictable profits accurately is. So we conduct extensive research and development in new and emerging concepts, and we make such advanced knowledge available to the ARM Global Network. Let's talk about the art of the possible for a minute. Our research proves that there are certain effective techniques that can take you to a dimension of higher revenues and profits. And get this, enterprises that utilize these techniques also realize a greater share of each customer's wallet. There's more, however. Those enterprises who become highly competent in these capabilities also enjoy a higher return on investment and key performance metrics. So, UPMS provides solutions and successes in ways that were not thought possible before. Platform for survival, for prosperity, and for longevity. So who's doing this? Who's doing what? Well, a lot of people. Financial services, automotive, corporate reorg, death care, education, student acquisition, not-for-profit, property management. People are taking advantage of ultra-precision marketing sciences techniques. So it's our mission to get this kind of advanced information out to the business community. Let's tell you a bit about our background. Originated in the mid-90s as the Association for the Advancement of Relationship Marketing, with major representation of 58% in the senior executive category and 42% in middle management who participate in ARM in some manner. From an evolution standpoint, over the past couple of decades, we became a worldwide network of business associates really deeply involved in learning and sharing information about advanced techniques. So today, we provide professionals all over the planet with the opportunity to learn, network, and gain deep knowledge in the marketing sciences. And recognition via our unique certification and masterclass program. Worldwide, we have trainers with many, many decades of experience traveling all over the planet, providing advanced education to thousands in many countries. And we also provide online courses and masterclasses prepared by dedicated pioneers and leaders. Today we're simply known at arm.org, where smart marketers get smarter. And that indeed is our mission, to help make smart marketers smarter. We believe in the art of the possible. We think it's vital, actually, that you get the scope and importance of what we're about to reveal today and how it can help you achieve greater corporate prosperity today. It's our briefing today. You're going to be hearing from fellow CEO, the CEO of SGA, Mr. Serge Krishmanov. He's going to give you an inside view of the inner workings and the art of the possible of UPMS, and a description of the major contents of the masterclass program and how it will enable you to capitalize on the art of the possible. We give you a bit of background on Serge so you know where he's coming from. He's formerly the Vice President of Research, Director of New Technology at Transcontinental, President of Smart Guides Analytics. He's a leading authority in application of integrated modeling techniques to multi-channel marketing solutions, was a senior research scientist, and his exceptional talents have been enjoyed by the data-intensive corporations in Canada. In fact, his proprietary software is the only boundless segmentation platform in Canada, and his schema has been implemented to Canada's largest financial institutions. So there's an immense capacity in understanding the needs of the marketing industry, and it's seen him play a critical role in restructuring and rebranding of several key corporations. Serge presents at conferences throughout the world on how to design, develop, and deliver multi-channel systems. He's a featured speaker at Podi and a columnist at Print Action. He's contributed considerable time and talent to also serving as the R&D director at ARM and teaching what he knows all over the world. He's a major instructor and chief marketing scientist for the ARM Masterclass program on Ultra Precision Marketing Sciences. And now, to chat in detail about UPMS and show you the art of the possible, a veteran pioneer that's developed so many unique ways of dealing with that so important stuff called data, one of the most brilliant and talented marketing scientists I've ever had the pleasure to work with, Mr. Serge Drusmanov.
As Robert had mentioned, UPMS is a special set of marketing and business methods and processes. UPMS is both a framework and a template. It's really a way of doing business. Now, as a framework, it details how to build, enhance, and manage data and bind this data to our marketing analytics framework. As a template, it defines the steps that we need to take in order to achieve strategic insight into the customer circumstance. What to do, when to do it, whom to include in the programs and where, which channels, and perhaps most importantly, why. Now, these 14 steps or these 14 sessions or programs that we'll be going through details the steps that we need to take in order to create the most compelling marketing programs possible, how to achieve the greatest results, how to achieve the highest lifetime value, how to achieve the greatest ROI. But it all comes down to following a very methodological framework to achieve these goals. Our first session deals with the operational environment that all marketers need to work in. So all marketing campaigns, whether they be the traditional direct response programs or those which are cyberspace and social media, all begin with a marketing goal, a list of participants, a set of output channels, and perhaps even a budget. So our objective in this first session is to really to understand all the various data sources available, plus special research sources or special audits and surveys, but also systematic data such as POS and weblog information, but also includes social interlinkage information that we can garner from sources such as Twitter and Facebook and the like. So the goal here then is to understand how all these different data sources combine with our marketing analytics routines that help us understand structure and forecasting and prediction, and ultimately how these combine with our output channels. So the goal here is really to understand the marketing paradigm that we operate in and how this information framework allows us to create the most compelling marketing programs possible. This is the systematic operational framework. This is the systematic data framework. So this really outlines the overall objectives or the boundaries, if you will, that we as marketers operate in. Our second session deals with the ecosystem of geodata. And ecosystem is the appropriate word because it refers to a closed system, a bound system, a system where there is an inherent internal hierarchy of information. No longer is it enough today as marketers to look purely at sales information, nor simply to augment with socio-geodemographic information. Today, we need to put together spatial, regional, econometric, competition, cyber, social, and social interlinkage data together. The goal, though, is how do we normalize this data to create a framework of truly customer-centric insight and knowledge. The goal, then, is how do we create a data framework that allows us to combine the bricks and mortar information of X and Y coordinates of latitude and longitude and combine this with the data of the cyber experience. It really is, how do we generate this holistic view of information on each and every person on the planet? Our third session is probably one of the most important, and this is the generation of marketing groups through segmentation. If we were to talk about marketing, or the essence of marketing, and say, what is marketing? Marketing is the creation of a branding, creation of an idea, and we sell this idea to a group of customers. Well, that's the essence of the issue, isn't it? The generation of a group. Now, really, what is so compelling in this case is that what we are doing is we're taking this massive volume of information, this large data frame that we have available, which is truly chaos in its ultimate nature. And what we're doing is we are creating order over chaos. And that's really what this third session teaches us. It's what is it that we need to do to create order from chaos. Now, the beauty of cluster analysis and segmentation is it takes this large database, and without looking specifically at any one attribute, but all attributes together, it creates groups where each and every group is as different to each other as possible, but where the members within each and every group is as similar to one another as possible. As we create these groups, there are going to be unique characteristics that highlight why this group was formed. It could be things like social media activity, it could be income, it could be revenue, the car they drive, it could be a multitude of different things. But when the segments are formed, it'll be a distinct set of characteristics that generated the formation of that segment. And these characteristics naturally will be the ones that we'll be using in the generation of our marketing message. This fourth session is about profiles and profile development. Now, profiling often goes by another acronym such as gap analysis or fact sheet development, but the notion here is, what is it that we need to do to help build an understanding of these segments? So it's the tables and charts that we develop that help us understand the unique qualities that each and every segment poses. Now, if you look below in the graph, just to my left here, we see that each and every segment has a unique characteristic or unique set of attributes. Now, these attributes help build the personality, if you will, of this segment. So this fourth session is all about the charts we need to build, the tables that we need to build that enables us to build a unique narrative, a unique story around each and every segment. 5 is all about the enablement of our customers to find their best performers. We do so using a technique called multivariate interaction detection. What MID is a technique where we select one attribute like sales, response, or conversion, or profit, and what it does is it recombines all of our attributes, all of our data in a way where the new groups that are formed are the best possible representation of sales, response, conversion. Ultimately, it creates a set of rules. And these rules would be what we would use in our marketing language and our marketing campaign, or actually as logic for data selection. Session 5 then is all about understanding multivariate interaction detection and how we can use the rules generated for our marketing campaigns. Session 6 is the art of forecasting and prediction. Now, predictive modeling is the process of creating, testing, and validating a model to best predict the probability of an event. Now, we can also forecast when this event will also arise should we have time as a predictor. Now, predictive modeling generates a single eloquent equation that lists the key predictors responsible for this event to arise, for this purchase event to occur, or to determine when this event will happen. But it is through the use of this list of predictors that enables us to determine the most relevant contact plan for our customer. In essence, then, we'll be using these attributes, this list of important attributes, as key elements of our marketing message. Now, should we have time as a predictor, that we can create a strategic contact plan for our customers. So in essence, then, we can determine if a customer is going to purchase and at what value. And like I mentioned, if we have time, then we can also determine when. In essence, then, we have all of the key elements to create a strategic contact plan for our customer with the most relevant and impactful messaging possible. Session 6 is the art of forecasting and prediction, an important lesson for sure. In session 7, we study retention and attrition modeling. Now, this is a continuation of our regression series, where in session 5, we studied regression trees and multivariate interaction detection, where we try to understand the nuances of our best performers. In session 6, we studied the art of forecasting and prediction, where we tried to determine the probability of an event occurring and the value of that event. And naturally, if we had time, could we forecast when this event would occur? Now, this is pretty much standard regression. Now, in this case here, though, when we study retention and attrition, this is more of a case of understanding if an event is going to occur, and we try to score that event. It's a certain style of logistic regression. Now, retention and attrition are two sides of the same coin. Retention is all about what we need to nurture an experience, what it is that we need to do to ensure that the customer does not jump ship. In the case of attrition, it's scoring the probability that a customer is going to jump ship. Is there a way to understand the behavior and determine the probability that this customer is going to leave? Ultimately, in the case of attrition models, we are provided a list of predictors, the value that they are in understanding the attrition process, and ultimately we can score the file from most likely to least likely to attrite. 8 is customer lifetime value analysis. A rather important analysis in that as we can determine the future value of our clients, as we summarize these values into time, we can determine our corporate value as we estimate 1, 2, 3 years into the future. Now, lifetime value can be defined as future profits to be realized on new or existing customers over a given period of time. Now, lifetime value analysis is best done when we have longitudinal databases that span time. But naturally, these longitudinal databases should also be applied to socio-demographic, econometric, and spatial data as well. So certainly the longitudinal component is key. Now, LTV is looking at profit from two aspects. Any data prior to now is going to be a historical view of profit. Thus, our models, as we historically view profit, determine what is driving profit and how is it that we can best estimate profit. And anything we do from this point will be a forecast of customer value into the future. Naturally then, an outcome of this analysis is an attrition study. We determine when a client's last shopping experience will be and at what value. We are provided the opportunity to create programs which are essentially win-back programs, programs that will stop clients from attriting and certainly allowing us to nurture better value customers to ensure that they don't attrite into the future. Lifetime value analysis then can be used for a number of different things, such as how much money is a given campaign going to generate for this customer over time, but also what's the appropriate budget we should be spending towards customers. We answer the question of what is the appropriate spend around clients. Session 8, very key, very important, don't miss it. Session 9 is return on investment analysis. Now, given we are omni-channel marketing service providers, our campaigns touch a multitude of different channels. Thus, we'll have costs for print, costs for email, costs for web services, costs for SMS, costs for social media, costs, and even more costs. Offsetting these costs will be the revenue that we generate for the campaign. ROI analysis then is our understanding of profit at key milestone periods in time across the project, where we break down these profit by channels, by other dimensions like segment and the like. ROI analysis does also allow us to compare one campaign to the next. Thus, if we have a template in terms of what we expect to determine relative to profit at one point in time to the other, we can overlay that template onto each and every campaign, thereby getting a better understanding of where our expectations should be relative to profit performance with time for each and every campaign. ROI analysis then provides us an understanding of how ROI may vary one medium to the next, looking at things like segment and geography or combinations thereof, and certainly understanding and getting a better handle on ROI performance across channel. ROI analysis is a deep dive into understanding profit and how this profit varies by different dimensions such as channel and segment and other different breakpoints, and how these actually are related to lifetime value as well. Session number 9 is a deep dive into profit. Very important. Don't miss it. Session 10 is a corporately challenging session. It's the understanding of share of wallet. Now, share of wallet can be defined as the percentage or share that we as a business own relative to a customer's overall buying power. But it's also an understanding of, for a specific product, what our allocation is relative to our competition. So how much of a client's wallet do we own relative to the competition? Now, this makes for a very interesting exercise in data collection. Not only do we have the need for all of our customer sales, but we also need to understand what the market is doing specifically for the product that we are selling. Thus, we need the means by which to contrast and compare our overall buying power or budget power relative to that of our competition. Session number 10 then is an interesting exercise in understanding overall data collection and how we can contrast and compare our sales versus our competition relative to each and every client's wallet. Session number 10, important, be there, don't miss it. Session 11 is a study into the economic zones of influence. In this case here, no longer are we looking at products and clients as the objects of analysis, but in this case here, it's the stores and franchises, where each and every store is the central focus of econometric energy, and it draws upon the surrounding population and region, where it's enacted upon by agglomerative forces that help support sales against the competitive forces that detract from sales. In this approach that we'll be learning, I've borrowed from a number of different authors, from Christoller's central place theory to von Thunen's concentric circles or Burgess's concentric zones, and also Hoyt's land use model, and a more interesting approach by Robert Murdy, where he uses factorial ecology on land use patterns to understand economic development. More recently, we also look at the approach of Ottavio and Tice. In this case here, we've borrowed from a number of different principles of economic land use and rent, really understanding the influences of industrial development, the drivers of economic development. The approach that we are studying here is what is the operational environment that our stores are operating in, and what is it that we can learn from a more macro sense of what our store needs to do to generate better sales. What is it that we may need to do to fight against competition? And what is it that we can do from a regional aspect to understand how we can benefit by more agglomerative forces? So in this case here, it's moving our analysis up a dimension to look and understand how our stores operate competitively. Session 11 is about economic zones of influence. Very important. Don't miss it. Session 12 is a peek into multi-channel attribution. Now, attribution is contentious. When it comes to the final sale, each and every department wants to be the one that says they are responsible for the final sale. Now, we know that can't be true. So how is it that we need to be able to understand which was the responsible department? This is an exercise in data construction and also methodological execution. So it's all about understanding the basic framework we need to set up to tag and understand each and every department's contribution to the final sale. Now, when we look at channels, they could be simple channels such as direct response, direct mail, email, mobile, and social media. But we can also look at things like banner ads and page posts and tweets and search ads and the like. It could be a number of different things. But we tag everything and we calculate everything. Session 12 then is a study and an understanding of how we need to lay out our data collection framework from the onset of the campaign, such that we can properly attribute each and every department's role into the final calculation of sale. Session number 12, contentious as it is a study into methodology and execution. Session number 12, very important, don't miss it. Session 13 is a rather interesting session, the session on AI, or artificial intelligence. Now, AI is many things to many people, and we've certainly seen its quick growth from the early days when IBM's Deep Blue took on Gary Karpov, the grand champion of chess, and won, and perhaps IBM's Watson in playing Jeopardy absolutely destroyed and thrashed Ken Jennings and Brad Rutter. We've certainly seen more recent application of such algorithms when we've censored conservative thought using algorithms in Facebook, YouTube, and Google. And naturally, we're expecting the taking over the world from Skynet by the use of such models. Thus, perhaps today, AI is the intelligent operationalization of the outcomes of statistical routines, where the output of such things as linear regression or cluster analysis or even probability analysis are linked together to be used as application logic to solve common everyday problems. Session 13 then is all about how it is that we need to present the information to be used in an AI operation. Session 13, don't miss it.
Well, I'm back. Thanks for your attention. I'm Robert Stacey again, President and CEO of AARM.org, where smart marketers get smarter. And of course, thanks to our keynote speaker today, Mr. Serge Grishmanov, on today's topic, that being ultra precision marketing sciences and the art of the possible. Success as well, successes in a wide range of industry that we talked about, including retail, financial services, automotive, corporate reorg, death care, education, student preparation, a whole slew of industries that we've had the good fortune to work with over the many years, many decades, and to create proven successes. So the next step for you folks to consider is the masterclass course that teaches execs about ultra precision marketing sciences so that you can achieve greater corporate prosperity, whether that's revenues, profits, whatever it is. It's beyond analytics, by the way. This reaches into the next dimensions of marketing. So our suggestion is that you and the senior members of your team sign up for the online course, the masterclass in ultra precision marketing sciences. In terms of the course, there's coaching by mutual time slot. You can hook up with the course leaders as you go through if you have any questions that need answering. From the standpoint of a fast track to the future, we recommend you take advantage of the UPMS course corporate coaching program. This is where we can create a custom pathway for you to move ahead fast. We have industry knowledge in our extensive library that's specific to or pertinent to your industry of interest. And to get that going, call Serge at this number, 888-588-6442, or use his email. To register for the class itself, we recommend you go to arm.org, where you'll find all kinds of connections to the master class. Remember, we believe in the art of the possible. Thank you for attending today's briefing, and we hope you found it very, very useful.